And Bill Brockman from Des Moines. I think all morning now we're getting back to questions that we've already had brought up, and like Jeff said, I don't think anybody's opposed to anything, but I think there's an overwhelming amount of open-ended questions and research that is out there to be done, due diligence on your part. And on behalf of everybody here, I would respectfully say that you need to go back, rethink, research, find out what's true, what's not true about things that were questioned, get facts, figures straight, and then bring something back.
If I may, please. I'm Joe Besh, and I'm a new resident to Dallas County. Just moved out about 3 months ago out on 160th Street in Urbandale. And from what I've been hearing is they're talking about the numbers. Jeff brought up the numbers. What is the number of riders going to be in the group? But it only takes one person. If I'm out by myself and I hit a pothole and I get taken out or hit by a car because the road's not wide enough or should be wider, my wife can sue. So how do you draw a number on one person as an organized ride, or 50 people, or 20 people, or whatever? One person can sue. It only takes one. So the ordinance, it's just not logical. It doesn't make sense to. I understand you have to have some protection, or try to create some protection for the county, but it still only takes one person to sue. It's not a number.
I'll be good this time. I'm real good at ruffling feathers, but when we got here, you were talking about a wellness program and how that might save some money for your insurance. And you were talking about going out last night and one other time hitting a crack in the road. It's education, and it's not just educating the motorists, but it's also educating other people who ride bikes to know how to safely handle bikes. I saw that crack in the road, but an educated, experienced rider wouldn't hit it, And so as a cyclist, like he said, you take on a certain amount of responsibility for yourself. I'm out riding all the time. There's cars coming and going. I better know, by golly, what's coming around me. I better know the safe routes, the safe escapes, and all this kind of stuff, and how to handle railroad tracks and cracks in the roads. So the education is not just county road workers who need to see a pothole and fill it, or engineers who think, I don't think this trail is really safe for cyclists, or motorists who think, well, there's a yellow line coming up, I better not pass. But it's also bicyclists who say, this is stupid, I'm not going to ride here because there's too much traffic even though I know I can, or this road is kind of narrow, or I better move over. I mean, the education needs to go all around, and I think that by encouraging wellness not only on county employees but also schools and things like that, like we're trying to do at the collective, I'm doing all I can to get more and more people out riding bikes all the time. So if we're a thorn in your side now, I hope like heck it gets worse, because I want you to realize that it's not just a sport, it's a lifestyle. We're all out here because it's not a sport, it's a lifestyle. We ride bikes, and everybody needs to know it, but we have a lot of responsibility ourselves to be safe. We're not going to go throwing things and getting motorists intentionally upset with us. We just want to be a part, we want to be accepted, and we don't want to have crazy little rules. That you gave the example of how sometimes local ordinances are required. You lump cyclists in with crack addicts and alcoholics. For God's sake, how does that make me feel? Not very good. Well, there's a doubt what the intent. I mean, cycling is my drug of choice, and it so far isn't illegal. But to hear that, it's just like, you don't think about it, but holy cow, and now you're going to make us carry liability to ride our bike? It's not a sport. It is a sport, but it's a lifestyle. And everybody needs to become aware of the fact that that's all we want. It's like peaceful coexistence. I heard that decades ago. So.
I think ISAC's billing is not being completely honest with the information for riding. In their document written by Dave Vesco, the teacher for Reg Ride Liability, says 10,000 cyclists annually who ride without registration. I don't think 10,000 is the number who participate in Reg Ride. That's the number.
No, but I'd say this, that when Reg Ride comes into Jefferson this year, there'll be a fair number of bikers that'll probably bike from Adel, and you can take the trail up to Jefferson and just kind of join in. And granted, trails are built to different bike standards. Theoretically, they should be, and maybe standard for the bike trail than there may be for the roads. I think that's what Jim was trying to say.
My question is, do you think this policy is going to prevent someone from suing you in that situation? You've got a lot of cyclists who are gonna start riding out towards Ragbri, or they're gonna go towards Jefferson. Is this gonna help? I don't believe that it's not gonna answer the questions that you have. There's a lot of unknowns that have been brought. Take the time, research it. ISAC has got a lot of wrong information. It doesn't fill you in completely. Describing the accident, Jeff's accident, his account of the accident, correct. They leave that out. What else are they leaving out? How much research do they do? How many other states have been sued, or counties have been sued in other states? And where do other policies like this exist? I don't know. I mean, I haven't done all the research, but we, as a group, there's lots of people in here that study this stuff.
Well, that's what I asked the question about. Of the 950 cities, what do we even know about the city's ordinances or